All right. So welcome everyone to Brace Yourself Podcast. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple, and you can also find us on Instagram at Brace Yourself POD. We do have YouTube. We do with just Brace Yourself Podcast. There you go. Well, so I wanted to start today with a personal story, and the personal story is, and I'm one of 8 kids. I'm the second of 8 kids. And I'm about 12 years old. My parents finally let me play football. They were concerned that I would hurt my big pumpkin. And right then they found out that they shouldn't worry about that. And so my dad grabbed me, and some may see this as being callous, but my dad pulled me aside and he said, "You are not going to be the biggest. You're not going to be the fastest, but you can be the best conditioned mentally, physically, technically, and the meanest." And so essentially, you can control that. You can control your effort. You can control your attitude. Yeah. And, the key for me when I got out of college and finished playing football is like, how do I take what I learned and then transfer that into, my life, whether that be career or my life. So with that, the segue, this good looking guy next to me right here, I have the privilege of being a friend of this young man. This is Malik Jefferson, and Malik is the son of Michael and Teresa Jefferson. I know both of them, wonderful people, and have done a really great job with their son, and I know they have 2 other sons. Malik, for those of you that don't know who Malik is, Malik played at the University of Texas. He was a 3rd-round draft pick by the Bengals in 2018. And how many years in the pros?
7. I was trying going on 8.
Going on 8.
Let's speak into existence.
There you go. Yeah. And I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And most importantly, the kindred spirits. He played linebacker. He plays linebacker. I played linebacker. And as I said the other day, linebackers are the field general. I even kind of qualified it the other day by saying, well, quarterback's field general in offense and linebackers. I'm going to scratch that. I think the linebacker is actually the field general of the entire game.
I agree. I can say that.
There we go. Most athletic.
I think quarterbacks, they do a lot of studying just because everything has to be so particular in timing.
Right.
They have to know where everybody is. We do too. But I have to trust that somebody's doing their job, because if they're not doing their job, then that makes my job harder.
Right? Right.
So I can say that I'm going to give it back to the quarterbacks just because they have to make all the decisions.
Right.
They make the audibles.
I just don't like it.
I understand that too. They get paid crazy, but it should be the next person should be linebackers. But, it's funny because the game is changing so much.
Right.
Sometimes the DBs or the safeties are the highest backs. They become the highest paid players because they orchestrate the coverages and stuff. Most stuff is coverage adjustments. It's not really inside
right.
line stuff adjustments. That's stuff that we control.
Right.
But them is coverage adjustments. Just the game is such a passing game now. They have more value than us.
So when you were at so going on 8 years, and within 8 years, what do you think, has it changed run to pass percentage wise?
It's changed so dramatically that they don't even care about the run game.
Really?
They rather have guys up front that can just hold gaps and get up 3 or 4 yards, but they don't want to give up all these all these new passing combinations and new offensive gurus and stuff they're coming up with. They don't want to give up those type of plays, the big explosive plays, because when you actually look at it on paper, when you actually look and evaluate what team you're good at, comparing stats and stuff, everybody wants to win in the big game explosions. Like Cowboys, we cared all about the big games.
Right.
So, big plays, made big games, and we made points off of that. But for us, like, the run game was secondary, but it's very important that you have a good run. You have a solid run game, because if you get a team that wants to control the game, it's easy to control the game with the run game.
Yeah.
The run game's still alive for me, and it's still just in my world. So I say I'm run first, pass second, always. But, that may hinder my career, but at the same time, like, I take pride in not not giving up the run. Like, one of those linebackers that grew up in that era where the run game was most important. You don't give up the run, you make sure they pass the ball. And it's easy for us to get pressure on them.
Love it.
Yeah, we would come after them at linebacker. So it's so different now because they don't care about that. They'll put a 220-pound linebacker right there, or 215 or safety. They've done so much crazy stuff. It's like the game of linebackers are actually dying. So
it's like secondary. It's like extra secondary.
Yeah,
or beefier secondary.
Because you think about it, they put all their money into the D-line. The linebackers should not get as much, and you have really good safety cornerbacks. The linebackers don't are important.
Wow.
But you have some guys that are like, hey, we kind of need some downhill linebackers to come out and take some of these guys off.
Yeah.
Who can go against heavy run teams.
Right.
There's just some heavy run teams like the Ravens. They should run the ball more.
Yeah.
They have a really good running back.
Yeah. And he's alone.
Yeah, he's 32 and he's still, I don't know what he is, but still moving at that age is impressive for his size. And so,
well, hey, give him some perspective. So when you did the combine back in the day, what was that 40 time?
I'm not gonna lie to you, it was not the one I wanted to run. And all through training, I wish I would have known the times I was running, because apparently I was running 4.3s and 4.4s. I actually had a torn hip labrum.
Still do, right?
And I still do, yeah. And that hindered me the day before, because I'm a huge, like, before the day happens, rest guy. My body is like, need to rest, need to be relaxed, need to be ready to go.
All right.
And I did something the night before. I did starts the night before to kind of shock my system. And I had my best starts, but then I aggravated my hip more.
Yeah.
So when I ran my 40 time, I ran a 4.53, and that was nowhere near close to.
He's limping a 4.53, folks. Yeah, that's pretty fast.
I think I can still run faster than a 4.53 to this day.
Dang,
it's impressive, but it's a big stage. All the things built up that came with it kind of it didn't make me nervous.
Yeah,
but my expectations were greater.
Yeah.
And whenever I saw her in a 4.53, I was so confused. I was like, what did I do wrong? That's the immediately first thing I thought about. But I knew my hip was messed up, and I was like, I should be able to push through it, you know? So it was very frustrating, but 4.3 is still good. Everybody's like, oh, you know how to run it again. But I was like, I should have ran it a little bit. I really should. One thing I wish I would do was take control of my narrative, and I listened to people to tell me what to do, even other professionals, you know?
But now you know.
Now I know to just, to do my way.
Yeah, I mean, still got going on 8 years in the pros. That ain't too bad, man. Yeah. That's 8 more years than I played.
Yeah.
You touched on it. What's the biggest difference between college and pro? Speed. Right. All right. So tell everybody the toughest, hardest hitting person you've ever been around, or, you know.
Man, the Dallas Cowboys line whenever Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
They just retired. They still got Tyler Smith, who's going his third, fourth year.
Yeah.
He'll be the highest paid guard or whatever, just because he swings. He's played guard. He played tackle. He's impressive. He's really strong, good hands, good feet, fast too. I got a lot of respect for those guys, because those guys made me tougher.
Yeah.
I would go after them in practice because they needed a good look, because I was mostly a practice squad player.
Right.
And there's like an article at Dak that shouted me out because that's how I practiced. Like I played, because I felt like I needed to get better in those moments, and I was going to get all pros and Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
So I took pride in whenever I went into I took pride in when we had team reps and they asked me to look like the player that they're playing against. Like I took pride in that.
Sure.
Because I knew it was important that as much as I was giving the effort to prove to myself, they needed to be able to win on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm not playing.
Great attitude.
People don't have that attitude because they're selfish, and I understand that we're all in this to try to get our own. But I'm still a team. Like we're still a team. We did this as kids.
Yeah.
So that's the point of it. So I know my role, and I play my role until it's my time to shine. And
that's great.
I never had that opportunity, and I'm still going to work for it. At the end of the day, it's in God's hands, and that's all I can do about it. That's all I can do is let him control what I can't control, and just keep pushing forward and just let him show my purpose, because I can't write my story. He's already written it.
That's right.
And I think the biggest thing is just learning what you know and what happens in these situations. Don't get so negative about it. Look at the negatives as positives and transform them into something you can make yourself better.
That's what I'm talking about. This guy's prepared, man. He's prepared for success. All right. Tell me about, because you have. So just real quick before I get into that, I met Malik and Hollywood Henderson.
Yeah, no, Hollywood. Rashad Higgins. We call him Hollywood.
Yeah, Hollywood Higgins. Yeah,
Hollywood.
Not T. Higgins. Hollywood.
Hollywood.
So Hollywood.
Original Hollywood.
He was what, 7 years?
I think he did 7 or 8. Yeah, 7.
So these two guys come in, and I couldn't help myself but talk some smack. And these guys came in during COVID, and
Crazy.
we had, it was, and they came in and they had an interest in firearms we were building, and then about, I don't know, a couple weeks later, I got to meet your mom, and a really crazy time. Think about that.
It was,
because your mom, I think she has an autoimmune, and the concern being during COVID, what
scary.
Yeah, really scary.
Really scary.
Yeah,
we didn't know anything. We weren't sure because they were like, everybody thought of me. Stay inside, basically.
Yeah,
and I had to think about that. We can't live in fear.
No,
and that's one of the biggest things why, when we lose the close ones that we love, that's why we have to give it to them before the thing happens. So,
right.
With my mom, her courageousness and just how she pushes through stuff and how she cares, but at the same time, she's going to enjoy her life. And for her to meet you guys and for us to be involved in your business, and, you introduced me to my first weapon, actually.
Really?
I have more. There's a podcast. There's not a podcast, but there's a web story, I guess you could say, web story or a news story that I did in Austin or something like that. Yeah, that was a news story, and it was about gun safety in Austin.
Oh, good.
Austin, initially, I was not pro-gun because I was not educated, right? Mm-hmm. So without education, immediately in my heart was fear.
Right.
And with fear comes with resentment. So when I was like, okay, if we're open carry school, I don't know how to operate a weapon. All these mass shootings keep happening. So we're encouraging people to bring weapons on the campus. That was my narrative, which is very true. It's still a very loud narrative. And I understand why people are not pro-gun. But when you become pro-gun and you see what it does and how you can protect yourself, it makes a world of difference. Yeah. And I'm not trying to encourage anybody or push it out anybody like, oh, I want you to be pro-gun. I want you to understand there's education to it. It's just like driving a fast car. Yeah. You get a fast car the first day, you want to go 100 miles an hour, you're going to crash. Yeah. Yeah. You don't know the speed. You don't know the turns of it. Yeah. You don't know the car. You don't know the power. You don't know the horsepower.
And he is speaking from experience.
I am speaking from experience. Well, I never really know how to never crashed
with a fast car.
I had a fast car, but I took my time. I had to learn it on some top.
Yeah, it's like we're gone.
Exactly. So with the education part of it, you have to take time learning and understanding what fits for you.
Yeah.
About right. And that's why I'm excited to be around, to see the process, how it's made, and also getting introduced to other equipment like suppressors, red dots, and flashlights, and going hunting and thermals, and like all the different things you can do with it. You can really make a lifestyle out of it because you can go big game hunting. You can have
sure.
See, people in the Black community don't talk about that. And that's just a real topic. And that's something that I'm trying to push forward to teach gun education, because we have so much bad usage of guns when we could do a lot more.
Yeah, do some good.
Exactly.
Have fun.
Exactly. Because I've experienced that. Right. And so instead of killing each other in our community, I'm trying to get somebody to understand that, hey, let's go out and let's teach you how to use a rifle, teach you how to break down a rifle and do these things so you can be able to go feed your family.
Yeah, exactly.
Because all you do is get a tag and go hunt you a whitetail. You got food for a long time. You don't even know it.
No preservatives,
no extra stuff, no meat paste, none of that stuff they have in the stores. And I'm not trying to expose anybody, but that's just reality of what food has become, because there's so many people. Yeah. So I appreciate you introducing me to
it was fun.
It really was. And I know we got some extra stuff cooking. I can't wait to see it and hear about it.
Special, especially for you. Because it's pretty fun to be around Malik, but it's really fun for me, gratifying when people really appreciate not only whether it be the sport of shooting or hunting, and then exposing them to it, and then keeping them in the loop, so to speak, of what's next.
I'm excited.
Yeah, no, it's fun. And I'll tell you that I met your dad, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months later. Yeah. And it's really, I'm telling you folks, they did such a good job with Malik. And I told his dad that his dad actually said to me, because we were just talking and you were on the phone or something. Yeah. And he's like, he made a comment or a compliment to me. And I said, it's so easy being around your son. So credit to Teresa and to yourself. And I would say this is my assessment. Teresa definitely wears pants. And Michael, hey, Michael, my wife wears pants too. And but it's really the relationship. When you see your dad's a thoughtful, a contemplative guy, architecture, and what's that? Asian. Oh yeah, well, yeah, for sure. He's got 3 sons, just like me.
Yeah,
lots of patience.
See, it's not. And it's funny because it's like the sons thing that like you want sons or you want daughters, like it's a pain in the ass either way. I think that my parents did an amazing job of giving me values that manage right.
For sure.
There were times where it was definitely confusing because I would have football games on Saturday, but then I had to go to church to sing in the choir.
That's right.
Those things were important, but it was good for me because I understood the message and the lessons that were being taught me at a young age, but I didn't understand them then. But now I understand how to approach my kids whenever I have my kids.
Yeah.
Teach them, okay, now we're going to do this or this. Like, we're going to make it where it makes sense. It makes them comfortable. My parents never forced me to do anything.
Right.
They've always allowed me to have the opportunity to grow at any facet that I want to.
Right.
Even this. Nobody in my family had a gun, owned a gun, even cared about guns until I stepped out of my outside zone. That's a shout out to Hollywood, actually, because he's the one who invited me over here.
Yeah.
I would have never been over here. I would have never had the opportunity to meet you or Rad.
Right.
Well, I never had that opportunity before, and he introduced me to a lot of things. And so I shout him out to just being courageous and stepping outside of my comfort zone initially.
Yeah.
And then having what my parents taught me, the respect, the values, all those core things that as you expect from your kids whenever you're not there.
Yeah.
They instilled that in me, and your kids are awesome.
Yeah.
We talk. Yeah. I think they're amazing. And I think that, they followed that. And respected everything you did. Yeah. I know.
I don't want to get in trouble on it.
No, you're not going to get in trouble. No, all twins. There's no way else you can hide that.
There it is. But I think it speaks to, and this is part of why we started the podcast, is that, life is too short. And, people want to change the world. They want to change the state. They want to change the city. It's like, it all starts in the home.
Yeah.
Right. And that is very rewarding. And it's fun to see other people like yourself to be products of that. And just fun to see. And as you continue to go on to the next thing and the next thing,
we need to encourage 2-parent households more too.
100%.
Because I think the importance is the parents need to understand when the kid leaves the home for school, for anything, they're an extension and a representation of you.
Absolutely.
I think that people take this so lax and they say, oh yeah, 18 years is plenty of time. After 18 years, you're done with me.
Yeah.
I still call my parents. I'm 20 years old.
Yep. Same. I'm 55.
And then it's a love thing, but it's a connection thing. It's just one of those things like they are my leaders.
Yep.
They're the people that were supposed to be guiding me from birth.
Yeah.
No matter until the day I die, like that, they're going to be guiding them until they die or I die. It does not matter. So I think it's important that we encourage people to get married. We encourage people to stay together. We encourage people to have a godly relationship too, because
absolutely
that is most important.
Well, that's what keeps it together.
It's the foundation, because with all the madness going on in the world, with Twitter, Instagram, Facebooks, the LinkedIn's, whatever else there is that you can get distracted by, and there's just so much deception out there. Reality, you got people that are married, been married 30 plus years, and they divorced their wives because they want to go sleep with a younger lady. Like that just blows my mind, because I'm like, you did all that work to let it go. You get the reward that God had. I feel like, and I just want people to understand that 2-parent households make a difference.
Well, I would second that for sure. I would say that you touched on it, but I think that what keeps you together is your faith and a collective faith. That's because it gets very challenging at times, and that's the thing that it's a three, I'll say, entity. Husband, wife, and God in the middle, and keeps everybody together. And I've been very fortunate. My wife and I will celebrate 29 years this year. We've been together since 93.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. And we call her the Queen of Sparta, because She's the one, man. She keeps everybody in line, including me. And I'm not even saying this is like a joke because she runs a pretty tight house.
Good.
Yeah, no, it is good. Our executive producer, my youngest son, is he just said yes, she does. So, but we're grateful for that. How exciting was it? I mean, I can only imagine when your mom and dad, when third round, and all of a sudden, Malik Jefferson, Cincinnati Bengals.
You know what's crazy? I had a first round grade at like evaluation.
Right.
And I crossed to the third. Don't know what happened still. I don't even care anymore.
Right.
I cared for so long because I cared for so long because I thought it was somebody else's fault. That guilt carried me through the NFL, and I finally got rid of it last year.
Mean like you had to prove something, or?
I felt like that, yes. The biggest question for me was like, I love football. I was like, that's probably the dumbest question you got. If I'm sitting here doing all this hard work, why would I sit there and waste my time and say I don't love football?
Right.
And I understand that people want us to be just football strictly, but I wasn't raised that way.
Right.
You should respect me for understanding that there's more to life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love football to the day I die.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things, right? And so whenever I had all these things going on, my biggest motivation was like, I just want to prove to everybody every year. So, because every year since I left, started in the league, I was like, I just want to prove.
Yeah.
And so I got to the Bengals, and it was already kind of, I didn't beat the GM or anybody the day I got drafted, which is very odd. It's very unorganized.
Who was the head coach?
Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis is still the head coach.
He was.
Was then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I believe Marvin drafted me, and the Bengals organization did not.
Okay.
Once I got into my second year with the Bengals, I had a toe injury, and a lot of my injuries have been, sucky.
Yeah.
I never played special teams. I was put on special teams in the NFL, which is very hard. If you don't know, very hard. Probably the hardest thing you can do, honestly, in the NFL is playing special teams. Very hard. And I did something I was very foreign to.
Yeah.
And I tried my best and I got better, right?
Right.
But the next year they had drafted somebody in the same position, same round as me. And I didn't know that was my call and my answer that I would be on, right? They put me in a position to where I wasn't going to have success. I was literally losing my mind. I was crying almost every day because I just wanted to play football.
Right.
And I wanted a chance to compete. I wanted to go out like a real soldier, right?
Yeah.
They were putting me in positions, and this is something I've only told a few people. They were putting me in positions that I was going to fail. Instead of getting reps in practice, they would give me 6 reps or 8 reps or 10 reps in practice. And then I would go play a full preseason game without any knowledge,
Oh, really?
no fluid.
Yeah, no, I get it. You're not prepared.
You're not prepared.
Yeah.
So when you're having people that have played 30, 40 snaps and doing all this stuff in practice and all these drills and everything else, and they're ready to go prime, understanding what's going on, it's not like I didn't understand what was going on.
No, I get it.
It's just the repetition. You have the repetition, you don't think.
Right. You just go. You got playing.
So with that being said, I didn't have that opportunity to just go.
Yeah.
And I ended up the last preseason game, I psyched myself out. I put so much pressure and stress on myself. I couldn't play. And I took a nap before the game because I was so stressed out and I just did not want to think about it because it was the last preseason game.
Right.
It meant everything if you be on the roster.
Yeah, right.
And I'm so confused. I'm like, I have nobody to talk to about this. Nobody's helping me. I'm literally by myself, right?
That's crazy.
And I wasn't dependent on God. So that was another issue. So I was just in the world of so much and I crashed out.
Yeah.
I thought I had an episode in my sleep to where I was not able to go play on the game because it felt like all the weight and the pressure had just, because I had the paralysis stuff.
Yeah.
Where you can't wake up, right?
Right.
And when I woke up, it felt like I was like something was wrong with my brain. Right. I did a CT scan and everything. Oh, really? Everything checked out to be fine. But it was just an immense amount of stress, as I learned over the years. It was just an immense amount of stress that I didn't know. So it's crazy what you don't know, and then when you find out and you understand what happens, the lessons you can teach yourself. And
right.
I feel like God was teaching me a lesson there, and it's nobody's fault. It's mine. I had full responsibility of everything that was going on. I could have asked more questions. I could have stood up for myself. And that's no knock on the Bengals. There's no knock on anybody.
And how old are you at this time?
I'm 21, 22, I believe.
Yeah, because you left UT after.
I went to my first year. I was 23 actually, because my first year in the league was 20. I was 21.
Yeah,
so
you're a pretty young guy.
I was super young, and so it was a good shot to have all this happen at once, and I couldn't pick myself up until I got to the Colts, really. Because everything started to get weird after that, and my career started to get weird. I just didn't understand what was going on. I didn't have the right guidance either.
Yeah,
and a lot of people gave up on me, so it definitely felt demoralizing. Whatever your closest people give up on you, and your friends are asking you, "Oh, why are you not playing?" Other guys that are in the league with you are telling people that, "Oh, he doesn't know what he's doing." But I come to find out that there was a program. Guys were this is crazy. Guys were having secret meetings, not secret meetings, but they were having meetings with the younger guys, the guys that want to learn more and develop. They were having those meetings and they're not telling me.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, so y'all been having meetings before practice and stuff like that? So like
tuning up the new guys and then jumping over you. Yeah. That's the politics of anything, right? Whether it be business or a team.
They don't want you, they're going to find a way. Realize that you got to find a way.
So it was Eberflus then that was when you went to the Colts. He was the DC.
Eberflus the DC, yeah.
Yeah, I do. And that's when you kind of started to really feel like, I got it.
Had a good group of guys.
Yeah.
All the linebackers and the DBs were really pretty tight. Yeah. They made me feel like I had a purpose. They made me feel like family. We had family there every week. Like,
yeah.
They were special to me, and I had a good group of people that supported me. I was alone by that time too. It was really tough, but I really depended on God to just show me and continue to train me where I need to go, because I was having relationship issues, and I lost a really close friend of mine. It was really hard. It was during COVID still technically. So really didn't see that many people, living in Indiana, boring. I'm by myself, snowed in, like, it was super boring.
What the Collins in the
But the guys, when I see the guys are still good friends to this day. They all, most of the guys, actually all of them are still playing on teams and do really well. So I'm a huge supporter and a fan of them, because they're
good teammates.
They kind of saved me in a way. They showed me a different hope, because my only hope was that I would find somebody that would believe in me, but I found guys that believed in me.
That's
so
awesome.
That gave me the spirit to keep going. That gave me the spirit to keep working hard. Like that is honestly the spirit of like just hope. And I appreciate people still do that to this day.
Yeah. That's
why I'm still going with football stuff, because it's conversations like we have. It's conversations like my dad and I have. It's conversations like when I'm working out, and people are like, why are you not on the field? Why are you not playing? Right. And those are things that I control, like injuries and stuff like that. I just have to be better on my body. So I want to take care of myself. I feel like God's giving me that time to do that right now. And that's what I've been focused on, making sure everything's fine and tuned up. So when I do get that call, there's no injuries.
Right.
It's just always like looking at full speed all day.
So Malik had the I'll call it privilege, because he sent me this text with it was like a film all that. This is like 3 years ago. And he texted me first and said, hey, where are you? And I'm like, I'm out of town or whatever. And then he sends this film of him doing a bag drill, linebacker bag drill. And he zooms out, and it's Mike Singletary. and Mike Singletary, of course, I am a diehard Bears fan, as you know. And I'm like, oh man, I would love to meet Mike Singletary. So tell me, how awesome was that? He was still chopping his feet.
No, he was. Mike is, I don't know what Mike does now. But Coach Singletary is a great man.
Yeah.
And the stuff he was teaching me, I still use to this day.
Really?
Back stuff. It's all old school linebacker stuff. The stuff they don't like.
So you're sharing a chance. 55.
I think you got a snap. I think.
One, I said I can get 3 a series, because I go 3 now.
I think we can see you on a B-gap blitz. You just got to go straight through the guard space. That's all I can say.
Hey, so I had bigger pads.
Yeah, some guys still wear big pads, but not that big. They had those big sling wing lanes.
I didn't have those, but Singletary, was it just so cool to be around him?
Yes. The knowledge,
man of God,
the passion, everything. Like the stories you told me and what I should do. And I took that. When I had those opportunities, I did what he said, right?
Yep.
It helped me personally, because I did it. Right. But for the outcome of what I wanted wasn't what I got.
Yeah.
But for me, it taught me something else in life. Go ask for what you want.
Right.
And if you want something bad enough, show it.
Do whatever it takes.
Yeah. And so that message I carry with me every time. Like, when you want something, just go do it. If it's there, go do it. You physically can do it, go do it.
Yeah.
Now, the mental part is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
Be spiritually ready for whatever is to come, because you could be disappointed. And I was disappointed, but at the same time, I was like, man, that felt good.
Yeah.
He knows how passionate I am about playing football.
Right.
And being a part of this.
Oh, yeah.
That was when I was at the Cowboys.
Okay.
And that's why I got 2 years out of it. But when I got 2 years out of it, I was showing my best film until I got hurt.
That's awesome. So, hey, touch on the injuries, because that's always everybody likes to hear about the grit and the gore.
You know, it's crazy. I don't even have the grit and the gore injuries. I have all time.
Yeah, I know.
When I was at the Bengals, tore my toe, and I was about to start and play linebacker the rest of the year, basically. Because all our guys they didn't want to play anymore. They were hurt, and I get hurt. So I was like, that sucks.
Yeah.
And then I go to the Chargers. I'm about to play again. I was on practice squad during COVID. We're low on linebackers. I'm about to get on that. I'm on the roster. I'm playing. I'm doing this special teams. And then I'm getting some defensive snaps. I'm starting to get my feet. Wow, Christ, this feels good. This is fun.
Yeah.
Radial plexus on his right shoulder. I was going to make a save, punt return saving tackle. I dived my whole body just out of awkward position, and then I landed on my shoulder. Snap, my whole arm went numb. I thought my arm was dislocated. It was that bad. And I was like, y'all gotta pop my shoulder back in place, pop my shoulder back in place. I couldn't move my arm. The nerve, there's a nerve called your break places. And once you injure that or damage that, it's basically over for your arm. You have to let it heal. So it took a few months to heal. And then when I went to the Colts, you can't see it, but I had a tendon removed. I can show y'all. But basically, I can curl my pinky finger on this side, and I can't curl my pinky on this side because it got removed. And then also, I had this finger that ended up having a surgery.
You show? I got the pictures on that one.
Yeah, you can show. You can do it. Yeah. It was, this finger first got dislocated when I was at 82. So when you can find a picture of me on YouTube, I batted it all down, but I was literally playing with big fingers like this. Because everything was so taped up, I couldn't do anything. So I'm just pushing through it. Then the second game, I tear my lap right here on the left side. So I was like, man. So that didn't require surgery. That was only like a rest deal, and they kept me on roster. So I was there the whole week. And then back to Cowboys, lifting weights, was doing a bench press in like a close jam. It's one of those weird bars. Yeah, and I don't like it. Right, because I press already enough awkward. It's good and bad at the same time. You should do heavyweight. I was doing heavyweight because I'm just so competitive. Yeah, and messed up my elbow.
Is that why you're ground up right now?
Yeah, basically the cartilage in my elbow is gone, so I get more cartilage put in, and the nerve is acting up. So I had to brace my whole arm for 2 years, and then the second year, I actually have this scar right here because this scar shows like how taped up heavy my arm was. The doctor or the trainer accidentally was cutting the tape off.
Oh, cut your arm?
Yeah. The tape went from here to here, and it wrapped around to keep my elbow in place. And nobody never know because I wear long sleeves, right?
Right.
So, and he was cutting and he accidentally was getting excited. And I was like, wait, because that hurt. The adrenaline fell. I was like, wait, that don't feel right. And then it cut open, but I just pushed through. And then, the next year I was on the Cowboys.
Last year, right?
No, I was in Detroit last year.
Oh, that's right. Detroit.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. And I'll tell you, I'll get to that. Yeah, but the next year I was on the Cowboys, 4 tackles, PPU, quarterback pressure, and the tackle for loss. And I hurt my foot. And it's like, it's this third quarter. I'm going crazy. I'm feeling really good. It's just so easy to me. I can do this in my sleep again. Right. And then I was like, God, I just cannot keep it together. It was wrong.
Yeah.
And then last year, I was in Detroit, came in a little frustrated because me and my coach didn't have the best communication. I'm trying to understand the playbook in my way, and me and the assistant are learning it in my way because he's trying to teach me that I have to be the coach. Obviously doesn't go as well, so a little frustrated. But my production never went down.
Right.
The first game I did really well. They just ran the ball the whole time. Got a tackle for loss, got 6 tackles. Right. No big deal. I wasn't really impressed with it because I was like, they're not really playing football. They're just doing the obvious, right? Right. So it really wasn't and then when I had to tackle for loss, I messed up my hip label. So I already had the hip label aggravated. got a
Right.
steroid shot. Just don't do that. Got a steroid shot. Didn't practice all week. Going to the Kansas City game. Never happened in my life. I started having heat illness.
I'll get overheated.
Yeah. I never had this in my life, so I don't know what it feels like. I would literally run down the field and be out of breath.
Oh yeah. Your heart rate's going on.
Yeah. I was like, I can't play. Like, I feel like I was gonna pass out in the middle of the game. My parents shut the games. And then, so I guess it comes beginning of third quarter, and I'm out there, and I'm going in like as a check down the running back, and I'm already like, I feel like I'm slow because I feel like the heat illness.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the hip labor, we not practicing all week, and I'm just trying to get some film because I just want to play. Like, even though I'm not just ran, like nobody ever say like, oh, like just wait. Like nobody ever gonna say just take care of yourself.
Yeah, right.
And the guy I'm going to make a tackle on, he spins the opposite way. It's okay, bad, it's horrid. But we show me those pictures. You can put a bullet hole through that.
Oh, it's nasty.
That finger.
That's the right. Yeah, that one that's
very jagged.
It's beautiful. But you know, the crazy thing for me when I listen to you, this is a high performance, highest you can get athlete. He's talking about special teams. He's talking about preseason. And he's talking about a toe, a lat, a shoulder, a finger or two. And that's just how violent the game is. I think people take for granted when they're watching a game on TV, they're like, oh, you know, he should do this or he should do that. It's like, these are grown ass men that are moving super fast, super violent. And it's just that crazy, right?
And it's funny because my girlfriend's dad is Tony Dorsett.
Ooh, he came out with it.
Yeah. And I know you wanted to talk about this, but it's a very sentimental moment for me because Tony is obviously a player. If people don't know, he has CTE, and Tony is really, really, really good person.
Yeah.
Tony is amazing. You know, it's just things that he obviously can't remember.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like a brotherhood.
Yeah. Right.
You know, I'm like, oh, is there anything to do? Like, oh, blah, trying to find your studies, blah, blah, blah. Because he's such a family man and his family loves him, right?
Right.
And so for me, when I talk to my girlfriend about it, I'm just like, if there's anything that I can do, let me know, because they don't understand, like, this is a brotherhood.
Yeah, right.
Regardless of the age, like, this is a
brotherhood.
I'm always thinking out for my brother regardless, because we all went through the same thing. It's funny because it's like, you think of it like, I'm not comparing this to anything compared to what war is like.
Yeah,
but you create relationships where it makes you feel like you're going to war.
I agree with you.
So it's a special, unique privilege to be in the NFL and be a part of what the NFL has created.
Yeah,
because I see it firsthand of the long-term effects of what those guys didn't have before us. Now I can't imagine what the guys behind us are going to be like, because they're probably super healthy with all the new technology, but I just can only imagine, like, and that's why I'm like my brother's keeper when it comes to Tony and all his issues, because I care.
Yeah,
right. And not only that, it's my girlfriend's father, so
yeah,
I literally do, like, it's like a double thing there. So it's a special relationship. I try to talk to him as much as I can, laugh about stuff, ask him about his memories, because he got some good ones.
Not bad. He played how many years? More than 12.
A lot of people loved him, though.
Yeah,
I know. I wasn't born. My dad talked about, like, he
was the man.
Like that.
Yeah, he really was. That's cool, though. So you've been dating his daughter for how long?
A year.
Okay. Going well?
Yeah. Going really well.
Yeah.
When you have a relationship based off faith, it's easy.
Yeah.
No arguments, no pressing at each other, just fun.
Yeah.
And to have peace and understanding and uncomfortable conversations, honesty is the best thing.
Yeah.
It makes everything in a relationship easy.
Yeah.
Goals, all that stuff, alignment has to be there.
Yeah.
Just encouraging for anybody who's out there looking for somebody. just have the faith in yourself and God and
do it right,
and the person to do it right, and believe in your values. Right. In your values, have good values, have peaceful values. Right. Because I think we've all experienced some type of frustration in the relationships, but the more calm you are, especially for men. Yeah. When we come at them, when we're not arguing and coming at them crazy, they never yell at us crazy. Or if your response is not arguing back, they don't raise their voice back. Yeah. They realize that it's a peace and understanding that we want to get to, not just get our point across.
Yeah.
We're trying to resolve the situation, not keep fighting the situation. So
this is the antithesis of an NFL. And this is what I love about them. So we were talking about and multiple visits outside of the NFL. You have interests. In fact, I think that's the bulk of what we've talked about. We talk about football because it's a common shared experience and love for the game. But, you know, when you look at where you are, you're 29, 28?
28. Oh, shoot, I forgot. 28.
28. And super bright future. What are your interests outside of football?
So I have a foundation.
What's the foundation?
Foundation is Malik Jefferson. We do a turkey drive. We do football camp, and we do a charity softball game. The charity softball game is probably one of the things that I want to advertise more because it's for my friend who lost her. My friend passed away, and she left behind her daughter.
Okay.
And so we're just trying to raise funds for her to be able to have, something in the future. Because my friend, we were in school. Her named Shelby Wilson. We went to elementary school together. I know our whole family. Great person. We were just kids.
Yeah.
And whenever I got back with her when she was passing away from cancer, we were just kids again.
Yeah, right.
And we were just laughing.
Awesome.
Okay. Her charisma, it humbled me so much because she basically had mass on her brain stem.
Right.
So, which didn't allow her to move. She could only move 3 fingers.
Oh, wow.
In her head. So with somebody laughing, playing, and joking around,
right?
Like I helped her whenever she's getting her hair dyed and stuff. I grew up, me and my friend. We actually bumped her leg on the table, right?
Right.
And then she goes, ouch. And it's just like, how do you have that much charisma? And like, you literally passed away, right? So, oh, wow. Warmed my heart. And I needed to do something. And so that started my foundation. But with my foundation, I started to see the lack of where people weren't educated and exposed to stuff. The exposure to stuff is the biggest thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
They're not having access to even see it. Like when you see certain things throughout the day, you're going to obviously it's going to become a habit to think that you need to be that, right? The best part about my life is I've had the experience to be able to go into so many different avenues.
Yeah, right.
So many different menus, guns, hunting, fishing, business, all the business. Yeah. So with what I want to do, is I want to bring education to business. Yeah. Not only do I want to learn myself the financial part about investing and investments, right? I want to be able to teach people how to save to be able to make more money through private equity and investments. Yeah. That's not just one thing, but there'll be multiple streams of things I want to do because I also want to create programs to stop violence. I want to create programs to educate kids about guns, even to the smallest stuff. Like I always think about, this is a funny one. I always think about, doing a TikTok or YouTube on how to drive. It's crazy. How to drive? People don't know how to drive.
You got that right. It's getting worse.
Do you even know? People, I get, this is probably the most frustrating thing, and I hope y'all agree. If you cannot accelerate and get on the freeway, your car has an accelerator for a reason. Guys, it has horsepower for a reason. It has torque for a reason. Every car has it.
Yeah, use it.
For a reason. Please. Yeah. Instead of sitting right next to me, go a little faster. And they be like, oh, you the speeder. No, I'm the person trying to move traffic. Right. Y'all understand that the people that are going in these slow lanes are not moving traffic. Sorry, I got off there, but that's just a little pet peeve of mine.
Well, my pet peeve of the driving is the left lane. People that get
out of the left lane, not going fast. Yeah. It just moved traffic, but that's kind of like, it reminds me of life. It's like everybody has their own agenda. Like, you have to you have to make your agenda yours and keep it and stay with yours. And so, with me, it's always about giving back, but I want to give back what God gave me, the purpose that He's shown me, the routes He's taking me, because never when I thought I'd be talking about business, wanting to learn about finance and learning how to put things in proper place, create SPPs, all these type of different financial structures that you can help people out with and just educate. Like I never thought I'd wanted to be interested in that stuff. I thought that was boring. I thought that was too much to understand.
You know what's interesting, and when you were talking about this before we started rolling, Ryan Moats.
Yeah. Right.
So Ryan went to Bishop Lynch, and he at the time was the local NFL Players Association or union, one of those two associations. But he said, hey, would you ever come up to Frisco? They had a local, and a bunch of guys that retired NFL guys were up there. And he gave me some stat that still sticks with me this day. And he first of all, I asked him, like, what do you want me to do? Right. And he's like, the challenge for guys that get out, 70% of them, this is the number. And Ryan, if you're listening, I don't know if you are or not, but I may misquote it by 10%, not up, but down, that by the time they get out, they don't have anything that they made. Life is tough. And so what we were talking about and why he asked me to go up there was the transition from being the guy to now you got to get back to where, you got to start over. And that transition is super difficult for anyone, let alone someone that like yourself, that your whole, grade school, high school, college, pro, it's like very elite. And then when it's over, and if you didn't save or you didn't invest or you didn't make good decisions, you're starting just like everybody else, because at the end of the day, business doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And business isn't just kind of hanging their hat on and back up. An individual that played, whether it be college or pro, a business isn't just going to hire them because they played college football or pro football. It's like, what are you going to do for the business? Right. And that's where, so Ryan, and I found it really fascinating. Met some really good guys. And some were very squared away. Like they're doing what you're doing, in that they were preparing for life after football. And then
how they did it
sooner. Yeah. But I mean, dude, you're 28 years old. And I think your parents have definitely, I think,
yes. No, I agree,
have done a really good job of keeping you humble. And I'm confident, because we haven't talked about this, but I'm sure they've guided you. Your dad and I talked a little bit when we were kicking around ideas, not with here, but like another, the speed shop and all that kind of stuff. It's like, I told you that I'd be really careful.
Yeah.
Right. Because I've had experience with that, and I got my head handed to me because I thought, well, I'm the rainmaker, man. I can make this happen.
Car shops are like restaurants.
They fold quick.
Very.
A lot of capital.
Yeah. Overhead.
Yeah. So you've learned. I mean, so don't say you didn't. I mean, like you've learned a lot, and I think you're way ahead of it. But it's an interesting transition, and it's also very interesting that you've taken what you're looking at in terms of educating, and hey, how can you help your brothers, in terms of NFL football players or people in Poteet or Mesquite that you grew up. How do I help? How can I help and make an impact? Right.
Because one thing I really want to do, and I was talking to some local Mesquite people, is I want to bring, Mesquite should be a popular city.
Yeah.
Rollins should be a popular city.
Yeah.
Those should be very popular cities because they all have amazing schools.
Yep.
1, 2. They need to do something different. And I'll talk about that on camera. We'll talk.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Okay.
No, I agree in line with everything that you're saying. And, it's important that I try to tell people that are having success. And I think one of the reasons why I didn't have as much success in the NFL as I wanted to initially, I'm not saying it's over ever. Yeah. But initially is because I don't know who I would have been if I had that amount of money. That was the amount of problems. I didn't have boundaries enough to be able to prepare myself for that type of stuff. Right. I couldn't imagine having $20+ million in my bank account and then being like, oh, I'm going to make more. Yeah. Like, and I keep doing this. I can make a living off of this. Like, I couldn't imagine that initially. So, I actually am blessed that I was a 3rd round draft pick and all the things that have happened. Yeah. The perspective sucks, but at the same time, it's real. That's what you have to understand. Yeah. This baby God is saving you from something that you didn't understand. Amen. That's why I went with that. And I said, hey, I agree. And I'm just going to roll with the punches that they're throwing at me. And then I'll punch back to like, thank you.
Yeah, give it up.
Right, yeah.
So real quick though, I think because you've got a podcast.
I do. I have not officially launched yet. Okay. I will officially launch in probably a month. Okay. I'm going to be excited to have you on there.
You're doing right.
You have some special skills.
I do. I do. I can't disclose everything.
No, but the podcast will be launched on every platform, YouTube, Twitch.
And what is it about?
It's about cooking, but it's more about somebody having their platform to be able to share their story, just like we're doing.
Yeah, right.
And the initial part of it is I want people to understand the person, right?
Right.
And I think that one of the things that have been outside box for me has always been cooking. I can come up with any recipe and I can look at whatever somebody made and I can try to replicate it. I don't have to see the cookbook or whatever it is.
Right.
I can look at it.
You're passionate about it.
Exactly. I'm passionate about it and I love it. I started to go on this very healthy wave of cooking that I think will be influential for a lot of people. I think there's a lot of food restrictions and diet stuff that I want to help people, show them that they can make stuff at home.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that I've mastered now is making most of my meals gluten-free and dairy-free.
Right.
And tasting the exact same. Yeah. And so I think people get scared when it comes to that stuff or restaurants don't have the quantity to feed these people that stuff. Right. Yeah. But I think it's actually healthier for you and you feel better after eating it. Fried food too.
I'll tell you what, we started talking about this before we were rolling again. I just got back from Italy.
Oh, yeah.
And we were texting and then I started talking about it. So let's save it for this podcast. So we were fortunate to, my wife and I and my middle son, Gabe, and his wife, Anna. And we went to Italy. And on the return, as we're descending into Dallas after 11 days, I was like, man, what am I going to eat? Because after 11 days in Italy, dude, we clocked it 9 miles a day.
Good.
Right.
You can walk in Europe and I love that.
Oh yeah. It was awesome. But the food was phenomenal. And, I don't know what I weigh. My wife does. And she's like, I gained 1 pound and we didn't work out once in 11 days. And so I think it speaks to one, the taste, but also the additive free, GMO free. And I think what you're going after is, we try to do the same thing.
Exactly. I went to Paris. I was in Amsterdam too, but Amsterdam's not really a big foodie place.
No.
Street food.
Yeah.
But it's still better than what we have.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's great. It is crazy.
And so when I went to Paris, actually, it's probably some of the best service I've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Not saying there's anything wrong with certain places here, but
sure.
When I say it was one lady that was doing 4 tables, when I didn't have water, my water was filled.
Yeah.
When I didn't have a napkin or I knew everything, it was perfect. And they don't expect tips. And I'm like, there's no way. This place is amazing.
Yeah.
The food quality is amazing. And like you said, you walk.
Yeah.
So that is just something that, in our culture, we don't do because we drive everywhere. We reach everything.
Watch TV.
You watch TV. Yeah. We do those things on the phone. Like, it's not normal for us to walk to a restaurant, eat our food, and walk back to our house or hotel and stuff.
Dude, it's amazing.
The culture is so different there. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
And I know one trip I really put to Japan because everybody's raving about it.
Right.
I'm already a sushi lover. I love stuff fresh out of the ocean. When I go to Hawaii, that's what we do.
Right.
Fish.
Yeah.
And I just want to go to Japan because the aroma, the aesthetics, the atmosphere, the
put together
food, everything is perfect. And I'm hearing people saying like, every time I go there, I actually lose weight. I'm like, huh?
How?
And they eat 4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah. Well, I think and one thing you touched on, that service, the pride that the people in Italy, I've been to France, I've been to Paris. So I think I could speak from my experience on both. They, number one, some of these, or a lot of them, this is what they do for a living.
Yeah.
So they take a tremendous amount of pride in what they do. And so you're right. It's like, do we tip? No, there's no tip. It's like, that's crazy.
You see people in restaurants now having fits over tips.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. It's just like, if you're worried about making money, raise your prices.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about the tips. Right. The quality and the service should be automatic.
Yeah. It's
boosting the tip. I shouldn't have to order takeout and tip for takeout.
Right.
Yeah, if I order Uber Eats and stuff like that,
I get the driver.
For sure.
Yeah.
Take care of the driver.
Yeah.
But that's a service.
Yeah, it's service, right.
So, no, I wholeheartedly agree with you with the food stuff. Really important.
I got to show you. So, we're coming on 50 minutes.
Uh-oh.
What do you think of this? I'm going to get this guy's opinion. I got a secret idea, right? Secret idea. So it's here now. Is
this what you going for?
Well, some of it. Making 100 of them.
Wow.
Well, it'll be finished.
Brought this? Yeah, who brought this out?
We got a guy to do it for us. So we're gonna make 100 of them.
It's light.
It is light for walnut.
What are you going to put around you? Right.
The short action, and then we'll make the long action. So I know that 6 millimeter is a or 6th Creed, isn't it? What you talked about?
Actually, like 7th Creed now.
Okay. That's a long action, right? We're going to be making the long action. I got some other things I'll show you.
Okay.
But I wanted to show you because I was like, when I said that text,
what inspired you to get back into doing guns?
you know, it's funny. I really want to do, I don't want to do like full scale, like
Privatize more.
Yeah, they're very much privatized.
People
They want to custom,
yes,
a custom rifle that we make for the audience sake. We make everything. So we make the action. We do the barrel. We normally buy a stock like most gun companies. And so I was like, it'd be cool is to make do an heirloom, like do 100 of them, 1 through 100. And they're sub half, the same action, same barrel, same everything, but like really make it where, people are like, this is an heirloom. It's not just, so it's kind of the craftsmanship. I would just dig it. You know what I mean?
The wood is
pretty sweet. It'll be nice when it's finished.
No, I know. And you obviously staying in whatever else.
The rough?
It gives you kind of a grip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, 100 years ago.
No. I'm kind of bringing it.
You think one shot the whole thing great?
Splitters. No. So we're going to end on this, right? So, and you've touched on all of it, but I wanted to sort of summarize that all the things that you have learned from football, from life, but you've spent a lot of your life in football. Those values, those skills, the discipline, the hard work, the sacrifice, the pain, the perseverance, transferring all that into your investment side, your charity side.
Easy.
Yeah. So this is what I wanted. I am so excited for you because, and people that you do interact with or that you haven't yet to interact, that, this is a great guy. I mean, you are, and I'm really excited for you and, girlfriend. But I'm really excited. This guy affects community and this is what it's all about. So with that, thank you for listening. You can find us, like I had said, on YouTube now, Spotify, Apple, Instagram, Brace Yourself, POD. And just remember, it is not easy on Easy Street.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah. I know what you do.
How long do we got?